Hi. So at this point, you've probably done a couple classes of your Foundations of Outdoor Leadership course, and your instructor has given you a rather intimidating looking packing list for the overnight trip. This is a one-night overnight into the Canadian Rockies, and this video is designed to help you plan and pack for that trip. What you learn in this video is very transferable for any overnight or multi-day trip, or as a leader taking people into the outdoors. So we have this rather large pile of gear that you have put together, and let's start by organizing it, putting it into piles that actually make sense, and then talk about how we're going to get it into our pack. You may already have a lot of your own outdoor equipment, but you may not. And if you don't, that's okay, because you have access to a whole raft of different equipment pieces that you can get through the equipment room of Mount Royal Recreation. To access this equipment, you need to book it out at least 4 days in advance, pick it up the day before the trip, and bring it back the day after the trip. You are responsible for this equipment while you have it out like it is your own. If you look on your equipment list, you'll notice that there are a bunch of pieces of equipment that are designated by an asterisk. So anything that has an asterisk, you can pick up at the equipment room. Let's just go through this equipment. So first and foremost, we have a sleeping pad. This is your typical foam pad, keeps you warm when you're sleeping on the cold ground. Definitely required. If you don't want to get one of these out and have your own Thermarest or inflatable sleeping pad, you can notice it's much smaller but very expensive. These work just fine. You can also get a pot set, and the pot set comes with a pot gripper, also known as a spondolical, to grip the pot. Make sure it's in there before you take it out. So the backpack, also a piece of equipment you can get. They come in sizes. Make sure you book the size that is right for you. Small for someone under about 5'6", medium for someone under 5'11", and large for someone over 6 foot. These are a 75 to 80 liter pack. If you're bringing your own, make sure it is over 65 or 70 liters in volume. You can also book out a stove and a fuel bottle from the equipment room. The fuel bottle is about 700 milliliters, and it has a fill line on it. Make sure you do not fill this fuller than that with Coleman white gas, which looks like this. It may come with white gas in it, but make sure it's topped up. The stove itself should have the stove body. It should have a pump mechanism that goes into the fuel bottle, and it should have a couple of pieces of foil, which are windscreens, and foil to stop the grass from burning under the stove. The sleeping bag. So you can get sleeping bags out from the equipment room. These are mummy bags that are about -10 in their warmth rating. They come with a compression stuff sack, which looks like this, and it needs to be packed into that in order to allow it to take up less space in your pack. And I'll just demonstrate how to do that at this point. Start from the foot and start stuffing down into the stuff sack. Stuff it all the way in, and then close the top toggle. Push it down, loosen off this top flap, attach the straps, and then start going around and alternate each strap by tightening it down. And you'll notice that the sleeping bag gets more and more compact as you go. Gators. So you can also get Gators from the equipment room. Gators are essentially a piece of clothing that allows snow not to get into your boots. This trip may take place in the end of September, beginning of October, where snow may occur, so a good idea to book out. Headlamps are also available through the equipment room. Make sure that the batteries work. They take AAA batteries, and maybe bring some extras with you. Your instructor will provide for you a compass and a map of the area prior to the trip. The tent. So this is a 4-person tent, and you will be put into groups of 4. So this tent will be able to accommodate your entire group. Make sure one person in your group books out the 4-person tent. Now we're going to move on to putting this equipment into a food pile, a 10 essentials pile, a clothing pile, and your sleeping system pile.